Hi everybody, Moshe Kafri is a difference maker dog trainer. Today I'm going to talk about a subject that is very close to my heart and really painful to me. The subject is all positive training and why it never works. You know, they say that the way to hell is filled with good intentions. There's a lot of all positive trainers out there, a lot of positive training only companies out there that preach all positive training. Reality is, with all their good intention, is that they get zero results. They never can get the dog to be trained fully and permanently. It just does not work. It's just not happening. Any way you cut it. There's a big movement in the last 15 years in the world to ban all negative reinforcement dog training. The result of this is that a lot of countries passed laws that banned the use of chalk, prong, and remote collars. As a result, a lot more dogs are euthanized every year, a lot more dogs are brought back to shelters and being put to sleep. Our goal as balanced trainers is to prevent that from happening. So we are now carrying the torch, carrying the flag of trying to stop this craziness. And I'm going to show you some YouTube videos that the results of all positive training are embarrassing to watch. They are the laughing stock of the dog training world because they cannot get the dogs to listen. And they find excuses all over the place. Because of the preaching of this movement of all positive only training, a lot of people fall into this trap, pay a lot of money to those all positive trainers, get zero results, and lose their money. That's what I call fraud, scam, theft, highway robbery. I don't have any other way to describe it. I'm going to show you some examples of people that called me and told me, I tried positive trainers, I tried holistic trainers, it did not work. Can you help me?
Hi, my name is Tracy, and we had a dog that had a lot of problems with our family and friends. She was jumping on everybody, and I couldn't get her to stop. I tried positive reinforcement training, and that didn't work. The dog was completely confused. She didn't understand what we wanted her to do, and she was jumping up on people every time the doorbell rang, and she knocked people down our stairs. She banged people in the nose. It was horrible, and I was completely desperate. I honestly thought there was nothing I could do for her other than just lock her up when we had people over. We tried a holistic trainer, and she was very firm on the positive reinforcement with the dog. So if the dog ran up to somebody and was starting to jump on her, what we needed to do was to have the person turn their back. And when the dog eventually stopped, we were to reward her with a treat. Well, it backfired on us because instead of the dog jumping up on the front of people, when we turned our back, she was jumping up on the backs of people. So it did not work whatsoever. The dog was completely confused. And then I came across Moshe and his training techniques, and I thought I have absolutely nothing to lose. He's 100% guaranteed. So I thought I'm going to try it. I was a little hesitant about the correction collar, but the way she responded to it was incredible, and he incorporates positive training into it as well, treats and positive reinforcement in addition to the training collar. She responded tremendously. He worked with her for probably about a half an hour, and completely different dog. Now I worked twice a day, 20 minutes for, in between our appointments, but she is a completely different dog now. We can have people come over, and she stays back where she's supposed to be, and then she will not move until I let her go. So I highly recommend Moshe. All of his techniques work. You just have to stick and do your homework, and she's a completely different dog. So thanks, Moshe.
Thank you.
This is my dog Hops, who everyone told me was untrainable. She fell on her head when she was an infant, and she had some disabilities like partial blindness, partial deafness, and neurological impairment where she's a little off balance. But I tried my best to train her. I've had several dogs in the past, and I had 2 trainers with this girl, and it didn't work. One used a clicker method with treats, and that didn't work. And the other one tried to teach her with treats only, and that didn't work. Two trainers and a vet. So 3 people told me she was untrainable. One vet even said I might have to euthanize her. He said, I want to be honest, since she's so untrainable, if she bites somebody, she'll have to be euthanized. One trainer that I had didn't work. It was all treats, and she told us to read books. And it was reading books about guarding their things, I think, resource guarding. Anyhow, the trainer didn't work, didn't refund money, and we got burned. So my concerns were the money up front. Can Moshe achieve this with the impairment? And the third thing, will he change the sweet personality and make the dog afraid, fearful, neurotic? You know, electric collars kind of scare me. And yet I know the electric collar works because this is an invisible fence. And this dog was only shocked 1 time and never went out the boundary of my yard. So I know the dog is trainable.
So here is the deal. You doubt my ability to train this dog. And I understand that. That's fine. Because for me it's a challenge. And I understand that you think that because she's impaired, it's going to be tough. So here's the deal. If I'm not able to train the dog to your satisfaction, that you look at me and say, I'm really happy with the results, I guarantee the work that I do with the dog, as long as the owner does there twice a day, 20 minutes, because I come out once a week. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy that you challenge me like this, but let's say I failed, right? I'll pay you every penny back. Fair deal?
That sounds fair to me.
Okay, so I'll not keep a penny if I was not successful to your satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Fair enough?
That's fair enough.
Okay.
You're going to put that in writing for me?
If you know what?
You got it on film?
We got it on tape, but
not only we got it on
tape.
Yeah, we got it on tape, but if you want me to sign and write, you write it and I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
That's fair.
Here you go.
That's very fair. Thank you.
You're welcome. So are we ready to go?
Yes.
Start?
We're ready to start.
Awesome. Let's go.
And here I am today with a very well-behaved dog. She's so well-behaved and calm, I can't believe it. So thank you, Moshe. You saved another dog, and you saved me from being pulled over. And now it's a pleasure to walk her. Thank you. You gave Hops the best chance she could have. You are worth every cent. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Bob McCarroll, and I have a weak spot for senior bull terriers, particularly rescue bull terriers. My little story right now has to do with a bull terrier named Jay, who I rescued through the Mile High Bull Terrier Rescue. He was about 5, and really his history we don't know. He was found on the street. But we did know that he had an aggression toward other dogs, and hence rescue called me because I only handle take on one dog at a time. We did try a number of trainers to work with Jay to get him over the fear of other dogs and be compatible when we're out and about. However, we had very little luck until Moshe. And
so, Tanya, why did you call me?
Because I thought I had a dog who was housebroken and semi-trained. She's not. She's wild. She goes in the house even after she's been outside. right away she'll come in and go in the house. So I know she's not housebroken, and I need her housebroken. So I want her trained so she's housebroken, so she doesn't jump up on people, so she does the basic commands.
So the breeder told you that the dog was housebroken?
Yeah, she told me the dog was housebroken, and I made that crystal clear. I had to have her housebroken because.
Okay, so Tanya, so now that we completed the training with Ali, what do you think?
Well, I'm really pleased with the way she's behaving. I'm pleased with her minding so well, and I'm very pleased with the fact that she's now housebroken. That really is a big deal. But she's very mindful. She walks with me. She does what she's told to do. She's very good.
Great. So it's all good.
All good.
Great. Good boy, Charlie. Good boy.
She's like, this is not fun.
You're doing grooming motions.
We got Charlie from the Foothills Animal Shelter. We adopted him because he seemed to take a liking to myself and my daughter and never ever tried to bite either one of us that first day that we met him at the kennel. And we brought him home after he was neutered, and he met my husband that night and immediately tried to bite him. And this was the first time we noticed that there was a problem with aggression with Charlie.
So he liked you and your daughter, but he tried to bite your husband.
Yep, the very first minute he met him. We were talking and that you were a trainer, and I'd let you know that at that point we'd been through 2 trainers, whose names I will not mention, but who were very nice people, but did not help Charlie at all overcome his fears, and he was still very aggressive towards every single person that would come to the house. Child, woman, man, whoever came in the front door, he would try to attack them. So
basically what we did, we worked on aggression, which you hired me to begin with, to solve. After 2 trainers failed to do that,
yep.
And we solved it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Pamela,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Okay, tell us your story.
And he bit my face.
Just strike out of the blue.
Strike out of the blue. There was no, I honestly don't remember any warning bark. It happened so fast and no one turned. It was so fast, and his jaws literally went from, his top canines went from my top eyebrows, and his lower canines went from my chin, and literally just closed.
So it was a full bite.
It was a full bite. In fact, afterwards, when they did the surgery just to try to pull the skin back together, the surgeon noted that there were sections of my nose that were missing, that obviously when the dog clamped down, he took tissue with me. Lunged at me and bit my arm, which was holding Peonia's tail. And it really all happened so fast, but I was so determined to keep Peonia from hurting Sky that I really didn't even react to the bite. And fortunately I had long sleeves on and jeans. And in the course of just the next couple of moments, he bit me 5 more times, from the shoulder to the arm, my hip, and then down in my leg. And when he bit me on the thigh, he was truly The other bites were all down and in, down and in. The one on the thigh, he literally was trying to pull me back. I let go, obviously, and at this point I was probably hysterical, got myself out of the room, ran upstairs, called my neighbors who came over, and by the time we, kind of took off my sleeves and the jeans and everything and saw the extent of the injuries, I went to the emergency room where I had to report a dog bite. And eventually I needed to put him down.
I'm going to show a few examples of YouTube videos by all positive trainers that are embarrassing.
Good boy. All right, so this is why they're not great pets. They're very cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Sit. Follow. Follow. Down. The level of command. Ah, you cheater. Come here. Heel. Down. Down. You notice I don't use a stay command. I find stay. Ay! Phooey. Down. Told you he was going to make me a liar. Just take your time there, buddy. Down. The level of command down. The stay is redundant. Animals and children, never work with them on television. Down. Heel. Yes. This is his reward instead of food. This is what he loves to do. And he will do this all day long. Out. No. Out. Out. Oops. Out. You cheater. I told you you're going to make me look silly. Down. Report.
You do, that you have to be tougher than the tough dogs, that if a dog growls, you show them who's boss. You know what I do if a dog growls at me? I apologize and thank them. Thanks for letting me know that you were feeling that uncomfortable. I appreciate your not having to bite me. And, I'm sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable. I am a grown-up human being who can change my behavior to make a dog feel more comfortable. Started, as we were going in the right direction, when people were starting to maybe click or train more, and then all of a sudden, we had this whole dominance idea take hold that's, since been proven malarkey. But we are getting meaner as a society. And we know that in society, things go from animals to women, to children to women. It's that animals to children to women.
Good job. I think it's important to say that no amount of training will make the dog 100% reliable, but you can get pretty close.
I get some outdoor training in, but she keeps going for the grass here. This is an ongoing issue. Hey, can you leave that alone? Come on, let's go. It's like giving me light responses. If I asked her to do something really difficult right now, like heel, she might give me a hard time and not want to stay. If I was inside, she would have followed that hand signal into a heel position, but since we're outside, she's like, that one's a little hard out here. And the reason for that is because she's not used to doing it out here, and it requires a little bit more brain power since it's new to her. Attempt, she did it, but she broke before I released her. She went into the sit, but that's okay. Ideally, I don't want her to sit unless I ask for it. So that's like, a minute of training. Now let me be fair to her and let her explore so she doesn't think, oh, I just have to constantly be a soldier when I'm in a new place. When called, she was clearly not in the mindset of paying direct attention to me. And you definitely want your dog to respond to come when called, even when surprised. Marsha, come. Ooh, she didn't come to me. I'm a bit surprised by that because she seems to be in a responsive mood, so I would have expected her to come there. So let me get her attention on me. Inertia is still very intrigued by the ground sense and unwilling to pay attention. And with her being brand new to the world, I'm happy to be understanding of this, of course.
You know, they say that ignorance can be educated, craziness can be medicated, but trust me, there is no cure for stupid. And to me, all positive training equal stupid. It just does not work. If I look at a pack of wolves or a pack of wild dogs, I never see, ever, a pack leader go to a dog that misbehaves and tell him, hey, here's a treat, behave yourself. Here's what we do see. We see a bite, a growl, a certain body language that sends a very, very strong message to the other dog, get in line, behave yourself. That's what choke, prong, and remote collar do. They emulate a dog bite, but in a lot more gentle way. There's no lacerations, no blood, no broken bones. You know, I was in Hawaii, and I was practicing for a couple hours and had a very deep talk with a dolphin and orca trainer. And you know what she told me? She said, look, it's all about food driven. It's all about starving them, and when they're hungry enough, they will do what you want. I saw it with my own eyes. Now, more than that, she said sometimes, even with the food, if they don't feel like it, she says they'll go to the bottom of the pool, and no matter how many times she calls them, they'll stay there because they don't feel like going and coming up and do what she wants. The point that I'm trying to make is that in spite of the fact that they are food driven, sometimes they will not respond to you even with food. Now remember, those are not dogs. Those dolphins and these orcas are in a closed pool, secluded from the world, and you can have them do whatever you want as long as you have the food in your hand, and even this sometimes does not work. Dogs are living among us. It's a whole totally different story. You cannot compare sea mammals with dogs. Those are secluded and isolated. Those are among us, living with us in the daily life of every day.
Stay nice and still. They're going to be on your feet. They're going to deep breath. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Woo! Check out that whale! Good girl.
When I went to Florida to take the advanced dog training course with Richard Hines, the Miami Dog Whisperer, which is one of the best in the world, that have used positive training methods for years to no avail, part of the program is positive training and a balanced training between positive and negative that combine. When I train dogs for people, I guarantee my work 100% for the life of the dog or mine, whoever dies first. So if I died first, well, at least the owner got something, the dog got something, and the dog is trained. Let's recap what we went over. First of all, positive training only does not work. It's a myth. Second, negative training only works, but you get a cringy, fearful dog that we killed his spirit. A balanced training will get you the results that you want. So the important thing to remember is how many all positive trainers can guarantee the work. None, zero, zip. And this is the sad truth about it. With this being said, until next time, the difference maker, dog trainer, Moshe Kafri, at your service. Ruff!